Start.
Oh, you're fine. It's fun. It's fun. And now we have 1 minute.
Okay.
It's
So,
fun.
what are you writing these days? Anything that you would like to share?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's over here. Let's see. I forget that my notes are also on my computer. Yeah. It's just observational, kind of. I'm going to watch to see if people come, too, and so that we don't miss people. All things coexist with and without meaning, making vision surreal. Iris angels bloom sweetly, then curl to wet fists for me to clip. Robin bathing in the bird bath with joyful insertions into water, splashes with wings for a while. I remember gardens, not of this, there's someone joining us, not of this life's memory, but DNA, lush, hiding lost lovers, mysteries. A million parables fill our holy texts. So I move this around. But who is learning? How do we call out systemic thoughts that ultimately hurt others? In the spring garden where life burst forth, seemingly out of nowhere, angels all. Now death comes, we put aside for compost, rebirth. Souped up cars pause at the crossroads, revving, screeching off down the side streets. Fascinated with all things smooth, my teeth, skin, fingernails, Rainer Marie Rilke and his whiskers, charcoal clouds, heavy rain eases sky to earth, release, relief, blue cup of tea in your memory. All the world moves slowly as a snail, yet also races with a spinning minute hand, my beating heart, a rhythm with both. I've been writing that like off and on. It doesn't have
Wow,
a title
that's
yet.
so nice. It's so
Aw,
nice.
thank you. Hi, Fran, how are you?
Hello. Not too bad, a bit tired, but apart from that, I'm fine. I've just done a marathon, putting all of my poems in one big document to send off to
Lovely.
somebody, which is like, oh, quite a lot of them.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
It's with a view to possibly doing a pamphlet later in the year, but she wants to see everything, so I'm sending her everything. It's just a massive job trying to put them all together.
That's beautiful.
But
Congratulations.
we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Editing can be hard, but it can be a wonderful kind of curation process, I think.
Yeah, I've spent the last couple of weeks doing lots of sort of minor edits and finishing poems that were almost finished and that kind of thing, just to try and get them ready. So yeah, it's a bit full on really. So I'm a bit time for something different, I thought.
Good. Something that's live.
Something more something that isn't actual words on a screen quite so much.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Ron,
How
I'd
are
love
you?
for you to meet Fitza Abba.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And her husband Rabani.
All right. Hello.
And they're coming to us from Pakistan.
Great.
Lovely.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, let's get started. This will all be recorded, and as people join us, then we will do more. We'll add more people to the list. Okay, so in the chat, if you look at the very top, I posted our feature poet, Fitza Abbas, and then our sign up list there. And then coming up this Thursday, I'm a feature poet at Scarrett Bennett Center here in Nashville, and I'll be there in their not their studio, but their theater. That's what it is. And also it will be streaming via Facebook, and they will record it as well. And then I host 2 events about the gun violence crisis on June 5th and June 6th. One is Artists Respond, which about 14 artists are bringing their awareness of loved ones lost and just the awareness of the total loss of life to the gun violence crisis. And then on June 6th, a mental health response with 6 panelists, 3 faith leaders, and 3 mental health counselors. Our next feature next month on June 26th is Sharon J. Burton, a dear friend of mine. She's up in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. And then our Facebook page is there, which is the Gestalt Poetry Open Mic Facebook page, and that's there too. So what I usually do is start with a poem of mine, and I kind of did, but let's do it again now. So you get your choice. I like to do this where you can choose between different ones. And let me work my screens over here. So, okay. So one is called Of Simultaneity. So not a very long one, but it does talk about things that require trigger warning, but it balances out. And then one is called Summer Thicket, and that's a really long poem that I have excerpts from, and it's a celebration of nature. And then I have another one in a book over here that is by, oh gosh, now I'm blanking on his name. Alberto Blanco, and it's called My Tribe. And it's a very sweet poem. So it's totally up to you. So it's Of Simultaneity, Summer Thicket, or My Tribe. Which way would you like to go?
That's a hard choice.
Oh gosh, okay.
All of them, obviously.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking I was really wanting to read the Of Simultaneity because of all the things that are going on and how we as artists respond through the centuries. It's really about history in a way. So I'll read that one then. First, I need a little water though. Okay. Of Simultaneity. The way Matisse sketched the delicacy of his grandson's smile, while his daughter paid the price of French resistance in the hands of the Gestapo, tied to the 4 legs of a table while the album on the gramophone was played to cover her screams. Someone listening to the same album somewhere else at the same time remembered peace and dancing. While the second of 2 world wars was raging, Bernard was writing his letters and painting, and Matisse was studying trees. Long before the Spanish Civil War that killed so many philosophers and poets, the Alhambra was filled with people from all over Granada. The water was flowing from the lion's mouth, whispering the name of Federico Garcia Lorca, the night he celebrated the gypsies. The sandstone alley in Salamanca echoes the lonely man at his piano, serenading lovers he'll never know, 2 balconies down. The way fruit describes itself with its smell, far away from the ravages of war. The Alhambra evolves stillness. Water flows from the lion's mouth. The sandstone absorbs to the whispers of time, to timelessness.
There's a lot in there.
It is a lot about history and thank you. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is introduce our featured poet. And I want to post your social media link as well as your bio here so you can read along with me if you'd like. I'll put this way down in here. Hi, Gary. Hi.
Hello.
There you go. Okay. Fitza Abbas is a writer based in Karachi, Pakistan. She is fond of poetry and music. Her work has appeared in more than 75 journals, online and in print. She has been published in Poetry Village, The Cabinet of Heed, Petrichor, Rig Welter Press, Poetry Pacific, The Stone of Madness Press, Better Than Starbucks, Serotonin, Versification, One Hand Clapping magazine, London Grip, and elsewhere. Her first chapbook, Ul Jalul, is forthcoming from Famidan Journal in May 2021. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, and that just happened, right?
yeah. It recently happened. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And here's her social media. And everyone, please unmute yourselves and welcome Fitza.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad
Thank
to have
you.
you.
Thank you. I'm going to read two poems today. So I will just start with a simple one that I wrote about a journey of a poem. So the title is Journey of a Poem. I look at a slice of a yellow-red mango settled quietly on an orange plate, a glittering bauble on a worn-out chain. The veins in my neck pop out, scars glint in the flashlight. This culprit has too many crimes under its belt. I conceal it in my tawny brown attic, the tiny hippocampus, as my little brother says. Words like treasure, erratic, fine, jewel, find a place. My desk has a stack of papers, a pile of poetry books, dictionaries, and an ashtray. The cigarettes hold a funeral. I'm the corpse. Uh, the second poem that I'm going to read is about a personal experience where I was bullied just because I'm not a native English speaker. So an editor said that, you can't do anything or you can't do anything with writing particularly. So I wrote about that. So the title of the poem is My Editor Says You Can't Write English Because You Speak Urdu. Leave Urdu. School, knowledge, college look faint. Don't live in the nostalgia of chalkboards. Open MS Word on your computer, fold the paper in half, type school, knowledge, and college in Arial 11 point. Fold the top corners from the center crease, click effects, and add a shadow to these three words. Flip it over, fold again from the center crease. Increase the font size to 36 point, fold from the top to the tip. Read these words aloud as you did in Miss Sarah's English class. Pierce it with a pencil. The silence of shadow will to accompany your voice. No aeroplane for you. Sorry. What a brawny brute, I wonder. Let me pour a glass of water on half skint paper. Blue ink, the brown writer, go together. So that's about it from my side. Thank you. Thank you.
Lovely, lovely, and brilliant. Thank you. I love your crisp imagery. It's so precise. Lovely, beautiful. Thank you. Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then go up to the top here. Leslie, because you are second, now you're first. Is that okay? Do you need more time?
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. I I just couldn't find the Zoom link. Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I discovered or rediscovered a poem, or a couple poems I'd written a while ago, and because I rediscovered them, I'm fond of them. So if anyone's heard them before, I apologize, but I think I'm just going to read those if you don't mind. So here it goes. This one's called Cruel April. Aware of April's cruelty, I withstand its frivolous winds that ask me to dance, that ask me to come out and play, that ask me to mourn the loss of my former self. intact and whole at the end of March, and say, no, not this time. I am not an easy conquest. Pierced by the love songs of overbright birds, soothed at sunset by the hypnotic drone of crickets, perhaps also frogs and other small beings that give throat. I am this, I am that, like trying on hats. I succumb gradually to the giddiness of April. What will April make of me this year? Shall I dance the fool again like so many other years? Of this I'm sure. What about the leave-taking of the winter birds who seem to fly further and deeper to the south every year and not north? I understand this. If I had throat, I would sing. And if I had wing, what then? Would I surely fly to the south, or would I stay here and not leave this time? Stay here restless, stay here not afraid, stay here not with fragile mind that thinks too much, stay here not with wounded spirit, not fatal yet, a pity we sometimes recover. April, cruel month, I will roll in your mud, I will put on your hat of abject abandon, I will feel the fire like Satan of those who stay here and not leave. I will sit in your fire and not leave until I understand something, until I understand something. They die, the old ones, the fragile of mind and of body and of spirit in the month of April, because they cannot, one more time, rise to the glorious excess of spring. This I understand. I care not what the moon will do this month. If it will wax or wane, become full, become new again, I will not carry that torch. I will not dance around your fire to the drums of the foolish April moon. Rather, I will baptize myself in the dark ocean, a secret like me, the body that is also mine, and buoy myself up with the sound until I know for certain that I have the strength this year, finally, to see myself through, to see myself clear to May. So the next one of my recent rediscoveries is called Blue Door. Blue Door. I could live in a quiet place where my heart is still and alarms not. Vines that spiral up starting at my feet and growing fast, so fast as to cloak me. I could live in a quiet place where want will not travel, where desire gets lost and does not find me, and only the cats and small birds, which sing large, know the way to my door. A door as blue as the sky and seeming such as sky. No one would find it to knock. And inside, I would be still and quiet in my thoughts, and outside the door, the world. Okay, and one more real quick one. Again, these are recent rediscoveries. And hang on just 1 second. Sorry, let me see if I can find it. Thanks for your patience. Oh, here it is. Okay. 7 horses. The hills are what they are today, the brown of a nest, the brown of fur, the brown of my hair and my eyes. I think I am blind, speechless like an animal, living in the private wordless stretches, the places of gods and not gods. I see but don't, traveling, churning in my cool body, my heated mind. The taproot goes down forever into the ground, into the beginnings, spiraling down. It is love. I see the horses racing. I see the horses racing. My heart quickens, my mind fast and loyal, speed, swift. Horses, my companion. I'm racing with them, fast with them. My body still and empty, all seeing it moves. It is moving with certainty into the hills. I am the hills, I and them, my body stretching over them, my body becoming them. My body is earth, brown and all-knowing. I sigh with comfort. I am done, I think. I am done. But this time I see 7 horses. There are 7 horses, 7, and I know what this means. or doesn't mean, and it means nothing. But in the godless hour, the godlike hour, there are 7 horses racing, and still that is all it means, and that is good. So that's all for me.
Wow. Beautiful and fluid imagery, and just you get lost in the journey. It is so beautiful and spiritual. Thank you. I felt like I was with you in each level of development. I was like, I do that too.
Thanks.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Now next, let me look at my list real quick. We have Epiphany Divine. Yay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, thank you all. I want to do one from my book and a few haikus. Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Fizza. Is that how you say it, Fizza? Thank you.
Yeah, it's Fizza.
I want to hear more from you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna read The Best Donut. In my hand, I hold this fresh baked delight. Honey-colored crusted bun, glazed in a white coat of gooey goodness, perfect sweetness, and warm softness. My glands stand and applaud its arrival. My mouth is ready to indulge my pleasure. I deliciously watch as I slowly drop it on the bitter, chocolate, cold, dirty ground, a fresh baked waste. Okay, a few haikus. I'll do about 4 of them. Pregnant. The moon, the river, and me, we glow. Two nervous fawns eat. My neighbor slams his car door. Damp grass, trees, bushes. This was the title, Alabama Weather. My new wind chimes scream, shake and wake me from my sleep. A tornado watch. Okay, one more. I like this one. I'm gonna do this one. I like all of them, but I'm gonna do this one. My best love letters float away on the river to unknown lovers. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you. Now we have Matthew Escovia.
Hello, everyone. Honestly, I just want to know, can everyone hear me correctly and clearly? Okay, perfect. So I'm having technical issues, so I am going to turn off my camera so I can read 2 pieces. I just want it to be known for the most part. Wow, I really am being the master of darkness. Let me put some light on the situation. Okay, there we go. Anyway, it's good to be around all of you and all this beautiful, positive energy. Let me camera off. I just want to be known for the most part. I hope that we're all having a great day, making our aspirations come to life. Once again, I'm hoping to make more memories with all of you. I got 2 pieces I would like to read. One is called Enough, and the other one's called Break These Chains. And here we go with Enough. Mind you, I'm going to utilize censorship, knowing that I have babies in the other room. So if you hear me like stop, make pauses, that's me doing censorship. All right, excuse me. Here we go. Enough. So, you mean to tell me Black lives never mattered to you, huh? And hating on Asians, what is it doing for you now? Latino community, I feel your pain even more than ever. I never even wanted to admit it. I hate going to Walmart in case anything pops off. But you tell me, right, with this today's world that we live in on land, right? We're living on a rock, but yet we find it necessary to fight over dirt. Womp, 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 womp. I probably sound like an adult talking to a child from the Peanut series if I uninterest you. But, please forgive me. My English is not perfect. All of us was forced to make a home not meant for us. Well, home. United in the states we are, right? But I refuse to become conditioned and confined to a state of mind where I should withhold my opinion or not fight for what I believe in. But you should fight for everything you believe in. Believe in your story because it holds your purpose. You don't have to listen to me. And when it comes to any of us, you can listen to whoever you want. Live your life as life, living it freely every day. You should take your own advice, Matthew. Oh, I'm sorry. Self, it's hard to hear you over the fact when my ideas crash into thoughts of doubt, my brain constantly screaming at my heart in the midst of tug of war. Nobody listens to me. Misunderstandings occur. It's not about what is said, it's the concept. Our words cast spells, so let your actions take you to great lengths to succeed and prevail, because there's only so much words can do in paper or in text. So what is right? When you decide to take from all that is left, I've been holding my composure, all behind this mask. I'm better off anonymous, but all sides of me must stay dominant, navigate nicely through the nonsense. It feels like there's no other option, but I'm allergic to bull, and I'm ignorant and intolerant. I'm not religious, but I notice there's a war going on between the Christians and the agnostics. What could a God do? An interference could raise a universal conflict. I do have faith in the future, but big brother, what is it now? Our future leaders, I'm screaming to you, what do we do now? Do we fight the system? Do we override it? Oh my God, system error, system error, system error. Oh, time to reboot. Just allow me to plead the fifth if I even have that. I understand the difference between polar opposites, but all these people in control, who's going to be the one to break these chains? I'll break a wall before I burn a bridge, abolish child slavery and rape culture, because I never supported any of this. I prayed for strength, and I promised my future children before life was even given, my inner peace will benefit more than just one soul. So my message to all of you, keep living, because where I stand for, I will never jeopardize yours or anyone else's security for my own selfish satisfaction. Safety and love should be normalized. Times change, people remain the same. We're still searching for love when it exists and it's around our essence. And maybe that's forever our biggest struggle as humans. But why do you bicker about not having common sense when it's not even fully utilized or localized? There are matters in which myself, on any degree, cannot come to terms on offering helping hands to just compromise. But I will seek the truth in all these formalized lies. We're part of a movement on the rise. I'll give anything for these babies. I will live for these babies. I'll die for these babies. The evolution is coming. A new wave of change is on the rise. The light of a glorious star lives more than just one soul, and the time is now. Enough's enough.
Great stuff.
That was amazing. That's amazing.
Awesome. Very passionate. Love it.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Do you have another?
Thank you. If I may, I have break these.
Okay,
thank
sure.
you. Give me one second. I'm gonna cut this off so I can do it. Ooh, I'm still a little bit emotional. That piece always gets me.
It's so powerful. So
Rowdy.
powerful. Thank you for that.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. I'm trying to locate the piece as we speak. All right, break these chains. Another piece. Thank you so much. I'm still over here crying, to be honest, with a smile. Okay, break these chains, because that's what we were all meant to put. We were all put here to do. We were all connected at one point. If I have to, I can go back in time. We can talk about Pangea, but we don't have time for a life lesson, right? But here we go. Break these chains. Why? Why should I fear the very world responsible for bringing my essence to life? Where does my voice hold the most power? Is the only safe place remaining inside the confines of my own troubled mind? Imprisonment, torture, continuous mistreatment. She's only a baby. He's only a baby. What do you stand for? Because I will not bow down. I will not grovel on my knees when there are children in need. I will fight for their honor and the name of salvation, because your lies are murdering us all. Your neglect is corrupting us all. Your silence is putting up more walls. I'm armed with a sword of light in these dark times, and I pray to our immortal universe the black market has crashes with the biggest fall. In the name of Elijah, I ask all of you to please bear with me, that my time may come now or sooner. With the many wounds I take upon myself to suture, every dimension will remember me by these words and say them with me. Stop killing our children of our future. Break these chains.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So powerful, so real, from the heart. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Wow. Very moved.
Thank you very much for having me. It was great.
Oh,
And
good.
I appreciate the feedback. I hope to actually do collabs with each and every one of you. I'm going to drop my contact information. And once again, thank you so much for having me here. It's been a beautiful opportunity, and I love the talent that's been presented to me so far. Snaps to everyone.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. All right, next we have Ron, if Ron would like to go.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I'm just trying to decide what.
Oh, that's cool. Do you need more time?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I can do a whimsical one or a more serious one.
How about both?
Oh, all right then. Hang on, that's one of them. Oh, it's disappeared. Oh, sorry about this. I did have it. I've got too many things open. That's the problem. And maybe I need you to come back to me in a few minutes.
That would be fine.
Because I
Okay.
need to sort myself out a bit here. I've got
Gary?
way too many documents.
Oh, are you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay. All right, Gary, would you like to perform? Oh, unmute. Can't hear you.
Yeah, I would like to perform. I haven't prepared nothing, but I will quickly find something for the
Magic.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Seeing Leslie there reminds me of something. All right. The poems are a sad love story, I think, but Leslie reminded me today because she's been to a place called Exeter, and once, not so long ago, I had one of those romances what shouldn't have happened. And during the month, I had a couple of heart attacks, and must spend my days writing. So that's just the waffle, so I can find where I'm doing it. Love game. My depression was the love inside me. Toxic, insatiable. The love of she plus he. Depression is me, a dark giant mystery, saturated within me, surrounded with well-meaning cacti, compassionate that turns into sympathy, with cathartic desire to understand me better, impelled with the dream of being a solitary paradise together. She's the love pain, the palpitation within me. Yet depression is she, a giant mystery. She's a princess of my darkness. My love pulled my cord to increase the brightness, a kiss for my sleeping beauty, a slipper for Cinderella. My true love unchained my cord and pulled me out of darkness. Now I have sight on the forgiving light. It's just left with one regret and sadness, denial. The pain of love is the same as the love for pain. The dark bruises are in the inside. On the outside, it's pouring, pouring, pouring with black rain. The denial of pain. It's just being diagnosed as insane. It's turning me inside out, outside in. Regenerate, relingering pain. Times the love tunnel is the love tunnel I travel is the love gain and love loss. Finding love during a shark attack adds weight to the journey but numbs the pain. Being in love after a sharp heart attack provides hope and joy to the prognosis. Staying in love after a shark attack. Combat WMDs, weapons of mass depression. I'm landed in her care. The inside's me open for all the doctors and nurses just to stare. I've been handed into her care. She doesn't take me home, but takes me into a bosom somewhere to a motel, which is like a lay-by. Laying there, I lay on the bed. She smiles. I'm feeling like Humpty Dumpty on day release from sitting on that broken wall, just like that great big egg anticipating a fall. My love took me into the heart of her bosom's lair, room 2169. Enticed to respite, obliged to the beck and call, I lay there to do my duty. Undressing and dumping Humpty, she bared all, a delight in cellulite. There is Humpty. I lay on my premier hotel bed. I can't believe that after the shark attack, I was still alive, free to smell the fen air. Thankful it wasn't one of those ad people lying there. You know, those people lurking on the bed, on that memory foam without a care. You know what? As they come and lie next to me, my shadow, as if it was Goldilocks that just ate my porridge and smashed and annihilated my favourite chair. I'd rather Beam spent the night with Mrs. Dreadlocks on the bed with a can of beer. After checking my bits were all in the right place, one sausage, two meatballs, the great British menu. There was no time to waste. She came down on me like a thundercloud from high above. This was a moment where I will be judge, as the perpetrators will be on the jury, a biased jury. To the furnace, or shall I fly with doves? I closed my eyes, and there I still lay. My heart was. As she climbed up to cleanse herself from her dripping self will, I blew cold air on my hand to feel of life with no sanity. And knocked on the bedpost, Bill, and Humpty won't be playing with Jack or Jill because the indentation of her pillow remained still. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Never fall up form. That's all Leslie's fault.
Oh, it's just so real and so powerful. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Thank you. Now we have Rabani. If you'll introduce yourself, that would be great.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So I'm Fizza's husband. I also write poetry on the side. This is a poem that I wrote after watching a documentary called Seaspiracy. And that documentary basically talked about a very concerning threat to humanity at large, which is the death of the majority of species of living things in the oceans. I don't know if you guys are aware, but more than 90% of all living things in the oceans are almost extinct because of massive fishing all over the world. And what we fail to realize as humanity is that if the oceans die, then we die too, because more than 60% of the oxygen that we breathe is produced by the oceans. So I wrote this poem in limerick style, somewhat juvenile, I would say, but I'll let you guys be the judge of it. uh, it's sort of like my conversation with the oceans about what they're going through. The name of the poem is A Tete-a-Tete with the Oceans. And this is how it goes. I poured the oceans in a glass. We had a sip of tea. We talked about the highs and lows. That's how it came to be. I came to know some fishermen had dragged the oceans raw. Their trailing nets had ripped their flesh with gaping, toothy maw. I bandaged then the poor old things as best as could be done. They started crying, told me we're dying, and I just had to pause. Choking back some welling tears, I asked what I could do. They said no more, just please, no more. Don't fish or we are through. I held them tight and promised them I'll do all that I can. I apologized to the crying oceans for all trespass of man. Still crying tears so full of salt, they told me of better times, when their heart was full of creatures all, small, large, quaint, and sublime. I wondered how this travesty had somehow come to be, was about to ask, but before I could, the oceans jumped from me. Back through the doors the ocean went, and I gave sorry chase. Before they left, they turned to me, looked straight into my face. I saw their scars, their bleeding wounds. Ashamed I felt right then. They saw my shame. They called my name. Don't cry, be cheery, friend. We leave you now for duty calls. There's time to make amends. You have to breathe. We make your breath. If we don't, you'll end up dead. Why do you help us when we're so cruel? I asked the oceans there. Our mother told us to be nice, and obviously we care. Helping life is what we're for, and that's just what we'll do. Please tell them all to hear our call. Farewell, my friend. Adieu. I sat then there for the longest time, till day turned into night, picked up my pen and wrote this line. That's how I chose to fight. Now promise me, as you read this, that you'll help me to save my dearest friends, the gentle oceans, from all dishonorable knaves. Don't eat their fish, don't drag their flesh with nets or trawl their skin. It's time for Mother Earth and oceans to have some kind of win. Don't give a man a fish to eat or teach to fish. Instead, let's focus on our bountiful earth. Let's grow and eat some bread. I know it may be hard at first, and change comes slowly, if at all. But there's no way that we live on if the oceans are dead and gone.
Wow.
Amazing, amazing,
Hmm.
amazing.
Yes, I agree. Just so very needed right now, and I love the way you framed it in a conversation. It was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that. Would anyone else like to read? Leslie? Oh, Epiphany? I think Leslie kind of went, it's like a bed. Would you like
No,
to?
Epiphany, please.
Okay, good,
Oh,
good.
okay. Rabini? Is that how you say Rabini?
Rabani, I believe.
Rabani, thank you for that poem that you did about the ocean. I have been writing a series of haiku thoughts about the natural things that's going on. So I'm going to read one. The other ones are on my phone, so I can't get to them, but this one I have wrote out. And I'm gonna read this one right quick, and then I'm gonna read another few haiku, okay? I'm in a haiku vein. I'm sorry, guys. If you don't like haiku, I hope you like haiku. I hope you guys get this one. Extinction is nature's way of lovingly recreating herself. Then I have another one. Hold on, let me see. Well, it's on my phone. It goes with it. It basically says, I'm going to translate it, basically says that if we are not careful, nature will recreate herself and new species will study our extinction. I don't have it with me, but I'm going to read some other haiku. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. I'm scrolling through some papers. Oh, the one that I want. Okay, here we go. Our house was full of love and hate and homemade biscuits. Your sweet grandmama wasn't around mine. I wish she was. My daily battle, overcome the tendency to be mean to you. Okay, one more. Bait. Your words are a lure. Poetic riffs flow from me deliciously.
That's beautiful.
Those are brilliant, so well crafted. Like each one is so wonderfully crafted. Thank you.
I wish I had the other one that went with the extinction one, because it's like a series of 5 of them, and I just only have the one written out, and it basically correlates with the poem that Rabini just did. It's like it talks about, if we're not careful, this is what we're looking at. We're not going to be here. There's going to be a whole nother species of people, or nature's going to recreate herself, and they're going to be studying us like how we're studying dinosaurs. The new creatures are going to be like, who are these humans, and what did they do to the earth, and why are they no longer here? So
it's a
thank
huge
you all
right.
for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Ron, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I can do. I found my poems now.
Wonderful.
This one's called Roots. Phytomorphize yourself. Imagine being tree, seedling, flower, blade of grass, sprouting from small beginnings, fluent in the language of carbon, nitrogen, sun-gleaned sugar answered with nutrients, singing along synapses, internet of fungus beneath our feet, each footstep unaware of 300 miles of tangle below. No plant as tip of iceberg, vast unseen chatter of electric pulses, sense rich in information, roots, listening, stretching for water, symbiotic mycorrhizal threads uttering words no human knows, spelling out warnings, new mown grass smell signaling danger from every cut. Hear tree song, forest hum, wind whispering treetops, rustling leaves, a mere snatch of dimly perceived complex green polyphony interconnected in a way no human ever is. This is what we gave up when we pulled up our roots and moved away, traded deep communion for run and leap, ancient instinctive language fading, while spoken words a clumsy substitute for the long lost wood wide web. That's that one. And the somewhat more whimsical one is called Roll On By, and it features, I'm not sure how well this translates into America. I'm not sure if you call fig rolls the same as we do, but it's a fig biscuit with kind of fig in the middle. I don't know if you call them the same thing or not. Anyway, this Roll On By. I used to dread the appearance of the fig roll and the expectation that I would eat one. The expectation that I would enjoy it because everyone enjoys them. Who invented this abomination? You would have to go far to find a less appetizing biscuit, if it even is a biscuit. Being an adult means not having to eat fig rolls, passing right by them in the supermarket, never putting them on a shopping list, never putting them on a plate for someone you love unless they ask for them by name. You can live your whole life as if fig rolls did not exist, as if they were never invented, as if no one expected a child to eat one, as if there were only nice biscuits in the world. Because of fig rolls, I was 40 before I could bring myself to try an actual fig. It was much nicer than expected, though if you ask me, there are much better fruit as well. Ones that never digested a dead wasp. Yes, you heard that right. Every fig has digested a dead wasp. So next time I'm offered a fig roll, I'm just going to roll on by. That's partly a reference to the fact that I use a wheelchair.
Beautiful. That was so fun. Both of those.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Did you have more?
Oh, I've got loads more.
Oh, please do. What do you think?
Can I ask her a question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you say every fig has digested a dead wasp?
Yes. There's the figs reproduce. There are wasps that specifically work in symbiosis with the fig tree, and the wasp, it crawls into the fig and dies there, and fertilizes the fig while it's in there, and then the fig absorbs the wasp, which kind of put me off a bit. You know.
Wow, I never knew
I know
that.
it's all very, very composty and ecological, but I was a bit shocked. I went to research fig rolls and I found this out and I'm like, what? Wasp? No. But yes, that was what I said. Yeah. And I actually quite like figs, but I don't really fig rolls. Oh, hated fig rolls. But there you go.
We have fig Newtons here, which are like a cookie, but not a roll.
It's probably very similar, like a sort of flattish biscuit with a sort of
Right.
stripe in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amy, do you remember the jingle?
I do not. Do you?
I do. I'll sing it.
Oh.
Darn tootin', we like fig Newton.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Someone came up with that and got paid for it.
It was catchy though, because it just would stick in your mind.
Yeah. I love that. Vron, did you want to do another?
Yeah, I've got a shortest one another one that's quite an old one that I haven't read for ages. This one's called Scratch, and it's based on the fact that the word for writing comes from a more ancient word meaning to scratch. So scratch. Start again. Start from scratch. Scratch is both the blank page and what you write on it. Scratch is a clear space where your previous attempts aren't in the way, holding you back, not obstacles you have to climb over, taking up the space you need to start again. Start from scratch. Scratch is a blank page and what you write on it. Scratch is a clear space where you can try again, remembering what did not work last time and the time before. A blank page, a clear space, an attempt to try something different, where you erase your previous scratches from the page, but not from your mind. Take a blank page, make a clear space for these scratches to be new scratches, not like those old scratches that got you nowhere, but remembering those old scratches if you can, because if you keep on trying the same old scratches, even starting from scratch, from a blank page, a clear space won't help. So.
Yeah.
That is so clever. Oh my gosh.
Wonderful meditation. Yes, it's wonderful.
It is.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
word, Leslie. Meditation. Yes. And now Fitza is going to read again.
Right.
Thank you so much for letting me read another poem. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to read this. I just wanted to share this one.
It's our honor. It's our honor. You're our feature poet today.
Thank you. The title of the poem is The Lament of a Broken House. I'm a house, and it's a poem about a house that has been witness to domestic violence. And everything ill that is, happening in the society is somehow a victim of all of that. So this is the lament of a broken house. Yeah. Let me begin. The lament of a broken house. I am a house walled by inhibitions and surrounded by hopes. When I cry, windows shudder, ceilings fail to accompany me. I feel dependent. The need to hold them overpowers me. And I ask them to stay, but they have other engagements to attend to, so they leave. Now I'm at that point in life where nothing makes sense to me. My kitchen has lost its flamboyance. I no longer hear the tinkling of plates or the daily brawls of saucer and tea. The taps of my sink, too, have become rude. I wonder, do they even know I bore them for so many years? My beautiful, just a second. My beautiful incandescent lamp that I brought from a local bazaar, where it was lying in a large sack among stained clothes and the wreckage of a crashed plane, has too averted its eyes from me. Remember the navy blue curtains that I adorned my bedroom with? They have signed an anti harassment petition. She is a controlling boss who doesn't know how to behave. that she should take a break and leave things as they are. My broken, beautiful window pane told me this good news today while I was enjoying a tete a tete with my unhinged door. The green, beautiful plants in my garden initially decided to stay with me, but faced such a massive backlash that they had to go. Peace lilies yelled, baby toes protested, aloe vera helped them heal, chrysanthemums bade farewell. Soon they all left, leaving me with a few nesty neighbors who were too showy and pretentious. Often they showed me their newly built brick walls and pearl white sash windows, wearing such a sly smile on their face that I was forced to think of those days when I was the pride of the block and people used to escort their guests by telling them about me.
Mm.
Thank you. That was a wonderful metaphor. I love the way you structured it and it moved with all the different pieces and the way you talked to the window pane. Just beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would Rabani like to read again, do you know?
I'm going to have to find another piece. Let me just take 1 minute.
Okay. And then we have Matthew again.
I think it's about
Okay.
here, maybe.
Hello? Can everyone hear me?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's another piece I'm about to share with you all is before
Wait.
it's
Wait.
called. Oh, hello.
Yes, just a moment. I think Rabani's going to go next, and then you'll go next.
That's fine.
I'm okay with Matthew going first because I have to
Yep.
find my piece. So Matthew can go first. That's fine.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry about that. Go
Okay,
ahead.
Ronnie. I hope this gives you an extra power boost because I feel like your piece is gonna blow us all out of the park, like for reals. Not to make comparisons, but honestly, I feel like I'm on a lower level here compared to everybody else here. Everybody here is very talented, but I hope this piece inspires and open minds. It's called Enigma. Oh, here we go. Just remember, you are in control overall. Set me free! These intense fires, trapped within a cursed spirit, only to seek power wrongfully and self-righteousness. The last screams heard before the walls closed in on me. I'm troubled by thoughts that wrap me in what could be described as, in physical terms, as a blanket of cold knives. For freedom waits for you, and it will come. Just be patient. But what is behind the condemned mind? Pain doesn't define the joys around me or what's keeping me alive. The emotions and the shift of this world rotating continues to run throughout my body, and I'm left without a clue. Even with a mouth filled with blood, the strength stored in all my faith to live up to expected beliefs, it never vanished. My prayers will surface to connect the missing parts of this world believed to be lost. The restoration is calling out to all of us, and may it be heard in the winds to unite all of our saviors whom are blinded by trauma, who cannot be named, of all that is forsaken. Where is the tranquility you all prayed for? What is the realistic meaning to uphold in trivial matters that confines you to a place undeserving of your character? Will you continue the journey, even if the dangers challenge you endlessly in every fight? This is the adventure of different risks to test your unmeasurable limits. And believe me, you are unbreakable. You are unstoppable. You are limitless. The battle between The darkness and the light follows the karma cycle. The vision must not be obstructed. Will you hide in the shadows? Or will you embrace the light? You are the deciding factor. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you. So powerful and vivid and fiery and intense. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Would anyone else like to read? Gary, go for it, man.
Well, I'm going to try to do two quick ones, but one's a new one, one's an old one. Because I couldn't. Here we go. All right, this first one is called Beggar's Belief. Now that the shops are coming back open, we're in the 21st century. We could put man on the moon. But why do we still, as a people, still living in shop doorways? It just beggars belief. The closed shop doorways are now open to have their own closing down sales. Bring your own sleeping bag, a piece of cardboard and a cup to piss in, and to gather the empty euros in. Beggars belief. Guess what? The homeless don't take contactless. How can anyone just walk on by? It's sense. They can hear your chains rattling. They just go walking by. 2016, 213 people died in the cold in Westminster, where the MPs every day just walk on by. If you see me sleeping rough in the street and I'm starving, I want something to eat, walk on by. Make believe that you don't see the tears that justify. Just let me grieve. In private, I piss myself each time I see you. I break down and I don't get high. You just walk on by. Don't stop. I can't stop going. That's you. And so, because the team's so broken, I've got bird flu. Walk on by. Foolish pride is all that I got left under this sleeping bag, so let me hide. It's the tears and sadness, and the €1 you gave me was a waste of time when you said go away as you wave goodbye. Walk on by. Foolish pride is, and a dog called Lucky is all I got left. You just walk on by, don't stop. Beggars belief. And it's funny to that, when I was in town today, some of the homeless to get to know him, and we was having a chat, and he goes, oh, so Gary, you don't look too well. You need to look after yourself. And I thought to myself, there's this guy been homeless throughout COVID, throughout these things. Happy I gave him £1, and he's at least telling to me to look after myself. Anyway, going back to Esther, it has come to that part of my relationship. Well, you know what I mean, that time in a relationship when you know when she does it for you for the very first time, whatever happens there, there'll be only one first time. Because I know the thing, we've all do the time, do the crime. But when my tummy rumbles and she says so lovely, Let me make you your first apple crumble. Ah, it will be your first, your last, your everything. I have one weak spot, well, which I will confess to, which is apple crumble. Yes, apple lick, smacking, custard, dripping, apple gorgeous crumble. I just the thought of it makes my ever decreasing belly rumble. I love apple crumble and apple crumble loves me. It's irresistibly delightful. I would, believe me, this does beg a belief, I would do anything and have done anything for this delicacy. I will give you all my collection of R&B, my PIN number, donate my ex-wife, my children's and my children's children to medical students and give them way to modern slavery. Just to lick my lips over lip smacking apple crumble delicacy. Through the years, it has not always been sweet. It has caused me great trauma. My mother likes to think she makes me the best ever, but it would be disrespectful to tell her the truth. So I cross my fingers and I hope to die and tell her, oh, Mummy, that was lovely. You see, it's already caused my life to crumble because I have committed perjury and become a liar, knickers on fire. Then there's this young girl from Exeter, as the decay of breadcrumbs brought to the end of our relationship, despite the local produce custard. After tasting it, I wished and I had died and went to heaven. I recall my apple crumbles like Henry VIII's wives, not divorced, beheaded, died and survived, but as divorced, gutted and hospitalised. You see, my happiness depends on this singing's a dish. God bless the NHS and all what survived them. I have type 2 diabetes, so I'm well aware of the harmful effects if I use too much sugar. When I was in hospital for 9 days, I had 19 apple crumbles, which is, as you all well know, a national record. And what you need to be a record breaker, you need dedication. The day I tasted my girlfriend's honey, it came on a vegan's platter with custard. With custard, that's the crumble, not her. Do you think I crumbled? Do you think I died? No, not I. I will survive. And as long as I get to eat crumble, I know I'll stay alive. I've got all the crumble here at Costco till I fly. Cool, apple crumble. Her crumble hit the G-spot in the lubricating McCoveys. In the words of the greatest Muhammad Ali about a crumble, and that as a quest to stop my obesity, if you go into rumble in the jungle, make sure you do it with apple crumble.
That was so fun. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now we're hungry. Do you have apple crumble for us?
Well, it's all Leslie's fault. She made me drag all this information of an extra.
Thank you for sharing that. That was so fun. Delicious. And now we have Lantern Carrier. Welcome.
You were looking at me eating and you still called me.
I'm so sorry I was late. Oh.
Fine.
Sorry, I can, let's see. Well,
no, fine.
You're fine? Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. The sardines of complacency. They glide freely on the marine bed and coral reefs. They are not lost in smugness or self-contentment, but ply at their task with diligence and finesse. Yet I'm like sardines, not those enjoying the virtues of innocence and freedom, but those trapped in tin cans, numb to the pangs of avarice and oppression. A light zephyr initially, but now a gale in full swing, My wings of complacency have awoken from dormancy and set sail. Birthmarks of humility and empathy have all but disappeared, and I choke on the smell acquired in this vast pool of self-sufficiency. No man is an island, said Donne. Each man's death diminishes me. Yet I'm indoctrinated by the customary crowded prison, customary feel of crowded prison. Yet I'm indoctrinated by the customary feel of my crowded prison, ignorant of the pain around me, while the privileged few pack my tin of sardines with more fog, and I suffocate in false contentment. Complacency, oh complacency, you crowd my life with blood, not beauty. Dear bigotry, I just called to say goodbye, to say I can't take this hundreds of years of inequity anymore. For your face is contorted, you speak with forked tongues, and your venom stabs my diaspora, still in the nakedness of their innocence. How I long to befriend you. Now I see clearly that you sprung out of the seeds of avarice, created the roots of power and exploitation, so that your branches of thorn injustices would gloat in the tragedy of the red leaves of racism. Dear bigotry, piercing my wounds with scimitars, you lay on my neck for centuries, while your elephant greed was busy taking away my gold and diamonds, cowardly unpeeling the invaluable assets of my maidens. Fairness, justice, and harmony are unknown to you. Being born out of a cesspool of indifference, dwelt in the privilege of stench so long that complacency has set in, dining in the poison of callousness, sleeping with scars devoid of pain and conscience. Pity that darkness is not conscious of the fact that light is inevitably victorious, that when the lines of demarcations are too great, when the wheels of gentrification has created too much suffering, inequality, and despondency, then Mother Gaia steps in, appointed by love, taking the predator out. O lantern, pray for an incandescence of luster, so the absolute alchemist will flood my core with happiness, shedding its lustrous citadel from this dark veil of shadows. One more. I have to end on a good note. Love kissed me. I became lost in an awe of bewilderment that stunned my being. Adrift in this maze of enchantment, I knew not who I was as her cheek sweetened the dampened sugar in my paw. More, more, my ravished lips cried out, enraptured by the fire of her embrace. I was dipped in the wine of solitude, which calmed my soul. All my life I had been lucky. The warmth of my mother's sacrifice, the boon of good friends, the richness of joy in selfless work, the charm of nature's grandeur. But today it is different, as the light of her majesty penetrates my core. No more the tenebrous pangs of illusion, of a tedious mundane from dawn to dusk, while I am bewitched by a river of sweetness, bemused by the rays of the setting sun. My empress, I'm the deity, my heart your shrine, your verdant green of nature's dance. You're my queen, with you my drop the seed of the pearl on your aquatic bed. Tarry a little longer, my sweet, sweetest, sweetest queen. Pour into my soul your golden silence. London Carrier, thank you. Hi, Gary.
Wow, beautiful and dark and on point and just so wonderful, lyrical, wonderful. Thank you. So glad you're able to make it today.
Well, you had a theme. I didn't realize that you had a theme.
We did not. We did
Oh,
not. It's free form. Thank you
thank
so much.
you. I spent the last 2 hours with my spiritual convention. Saturday night is tricky. That's why I'm late.
Aw. Well, I really appreciate you being here. Can you stay with us a bit longer?
Yes, of course.
Oh, good. Yay. Okay. Now we have Leslie Constable.
Oh, what a lovely evening.
Hi, Leslie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm feeling so full up by
You are.
everyone's words and just inspired. And don't you
Let's
love
see,
that?
I did
I
the
just
first
feel
two to give you a different.
wonderful. Okay. Well, I'm just going to read a few. Let me see what I can dig up. Oh, the theme has been a lot about nature tonight, which of course, so yeah, the wasps and the figs and the things under the ocean and all these wonderful, wonderful things. So here is a poem called Seeded Earth. And I also call it Winter Solstice. I seeded earth and skipped the change which would happen, inevitable, to have this seed grow without me seeing it, watching each moment the steps of new life. I seeded earth with my blood and heartache and wept for the love of it, the change I do not understand, for it is not mine to know. I know that the birds will fly above, the seed as it grows into what it will be, that above the birds circling this carousel of life, then the clouds float slow as they will, and above them the sun at times visible this time of year. The unrelenting gray, only a soft blanket of thought on which to ruminate and plant its seed in me. So then this one's called Passage. I will pay attention to going in and out of doors, the passages, the passageways, fluid, not stationary, not frozen, not stuck, but with the impetus, the idea of continuous forward movement, even if and when stationary is simply momentarily suspended animation before the next movement, never stuck, but moving. The sounds that waft up to you, you standing there at your watch on the pier, the point there above the sea, there on the coast to the south, will come to you faint, distorted, with a silence, both foreign and familiar, like speech that is beneath yet inside the sound of water moving, and which, like speech underwater, fade in passage. You are alone. You are alone, and sound also. And then the last one is called Waking. In the moment between sleep and waking, half light, the moon not sunk yet, and settled below the line of seeing, you are in between the gentle hum of existence, not constant. It pulsates like you in love, or a cat with its tail flicking rhythmically to some inner beat. And you cherish this moment, laying so still and paying attention, not yet a light to the light, the fire of your being, but just nothing there, now, still, yet everything is there. That's
Those are beautiful. Ah, the imagery. Ah, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leslie.
Yes. Awesome. Would anybody else like to read again? Is it okay if I read one?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Do you want something that is related to summer, or do you want the one by Alberto Blanco? What do you think? Summer or the tribe? Are we a tribe? Maybe I'll do that one.
The
Okay.
tribe, yeah, that sounds cool.
Let's do that. This is my big book. And his name is Alberto Blanco. He's from Mexico. He was born in 1951. He's a painter and an architect, and he's still living. And I'll read it in English because I can read it in Spanish, but it's not so good. All right. My tribe. The earth is the same. The heavens are different. The heavens are the same. The earth is different. From lake to lake, from one forest to another, which is my tribe, I ask? Which is my place? Perhaps I belong to the tribe of those with no tribe, or to the tribe of black sheep, or to a tribe whose ancestors come from the future, a tribe yet to come. But if I am to belong to a tribe, I tell myself, let it be a large tribe. Let it be a strong tribe, a tribe where nothing and no one is left outside, where everyone, everything, and always have a holy place. I don't mean a human tribe. I don't mean a planetary tribe. I don't even mean a universal tribe. I mean a tribe about which one cannot speak. I mean a tribe that forever lived, but whose existence is yet to be proved. A tribe that has never lived, but whose existence might now be proved.
Mm,
I love that.
love that.
We're a tribe. Yay.
Remind me of my poem called Identity. I talk about tribes in there.
Would you like to read it? No, I won't do that to you. It's okay. This is like right there.
Identity. I'm looking for it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, how about this? Wow. I always have maybe about 100 different poems on my table.
Believe it.
Mm,
I believe it. You're prolific.
yes.
Identity. Life can be a pageantry of beautiful colors, or a kaleidoscope of bittersweet pleasure and pain, in which tribe and culture will inevitably help shape my journey. Who am I? I am a strand on the sitar of the music we called love, yet I clutch at the moon and sunset tides, creating chasms and divisions like a sliced tomato, waves curling against rocks with futile intensity. In this illusionary chimera of life, identity embraces my moral compass and my political persuasions, my religious beliefs, memories, values, and life choices from parents, which may very well contradict that of others. Who am I? I'm paired with the duality of light and darkness, cold and warmth, walk with twinkling stars even while dancing with the shadows of night, living an Eden of painful scars in my abyss. My mind's reactionary, and I fight with the agony of injustices perceived, attempt to deal with the weight of my burden of labels, engrossed in pain while insecurity and loneliness slice my heart with scimitars. Who am I? I am the light I long to see, and change for sure begins with me. I struggle to transform my angle of vision, my environment, my darker impulses, the many forces I cannot control in my quest for happiness. Solitude evades me like the tail of a dog. I'm forced to reminisce on my parents' wisdom in quest of freedom. Theirs was a common humanity of light and discernment, of decorum and beauty, of selfless love. Their sacrifice spoke to me of the glories of life, mom's radiant kisses enfolding and insulating my heart with goodness. Yet I was called bad names, saw the indignity of kindred spirits, my women suffering the depravity of self-worth, of self-esteem. Shaped by life, I, a wayfaring vessel on turbulent oceans, wandered alone as clouds dispersed from the heavenly blue, no place to call my home, stumbling in a hollow maze of abysmal darkness. Who am I? I'm molded, it's not finished. I'm molded by a weaver called struggle, kept playing in mud like babies, just to get dirty again. I was once pristine like new plates. Now I'm stained and dirty by the residue of life's alluring meals. I am a child woven from an embryo, carrying seeds and blueprints of DNA going all the way back to ancestral Africa. I marvel at the intricacies of birth while living in dread of demise to an inevitable and invisible stranger called death. Alas, like the deer that runs after its own musk, not realizing that it comes from its innate self, I have forgotten that golden light within from whence I came to ascend the winding path of righteousness in order to find my way home. Banton Carrier, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Another journey. It's a map. It's like geography of your soul. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. You remind me of another poem, but I definitely won't be reading it. It's called The Path, and it is the one about the journey of the soul.
Oh, wow. Definitely want to hear that sometime. Bring that.
Yeah, next time.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're at 4:30. Would you guys like to hear more poetry? You want to close her up? What do you think?
How about another of yours, Amy?
Oh,
Please.
just warm.
I would love to hear more. And Vikas wants to read, my husband wants to read another one.
Okay.
Great.
That would be awesome. This one is, I'm going to read a little bit of it because it's a long one. It's Summer Thicket. And what happened is in 2000 or so, 2001, I had a writer's block for about 5 years before that. And I started collecting words on little notepads. I have a lot of wordplay from that period. And it all just came out, as I collected the words. So this one's called Summer Thicket, and I have to get there. Summer Thicket. I dream in winter. In summer, my hands will be yellow with pollen. Printemps verano, lime leaves, lemon leaves, Camasia plum, Sum la, Plum Valley, melodic Gestalt, raw morning, deep moss, hazy mummer. Crickets slowly resonating, singing up the green spring ground. They will resound the sound of cells themselves, each a tiny star spark of life within. Summer cum laude, summa cum summer, 70 something, 80 something, 99 in the shade. Comatl, raspberry lillet, raspberry tire, Briscoe cranberries, strawberry skin shell, fresh shell, bee skept, bee steps, bee feet, bee balm, bee berries, butterfly feet, ginger feet, bare feet, gingereves, reveries, the velvet bee, St. Francis of Assisi, that love he loving, the dove he lovingly looking up at thee, bird songs, bird feathers, dragonflies hovering, dragonfly runes, disappearing bees, honeybee spirals, honeybees dance, sugar ribbons, opalescent trails at night when we can't see. And I'm going to scoot forward towards the end. Let's see if that works. 160 degrees, rhythm of days, porphyry, soie de vivre, joie de vivre, joie de livre, pensant vive, en joie, gaietur, the silk of living, the cricket tree, thicket, the heart marked on the tree grew thick around it. We can hear the stars and the crickets and the stars. I'm floating on waves of summer. It's still summer here. Nature's beauty doesn't sleep. Deep night womb, the star loom, night weaving dreams of seeded fruit, honey clouded with pollen, some lost gazebo at night where no one sees, We walk through the clearing, a circle of silver bark trees, a circle of willows sings.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a fun one. I like reading.
It's
That's
kind of
really
like reading
lovely.
the dictionary.
Totally. It's like a collection. I have
It's
two.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I love the way it kind of builds up in layers and
Yes.
it collects together and
Yeah.
into a big picture. That's absolutely lovely.
Oh,
It is
thank you.
lovely.
I love playing
How
with
are you
language.
going?
Go for it. Did you
Say,
say?
can I plug? I think there is one of the Indian girls wanted her husband to do one. Can I just plug next Tuesdays? I'll be featuring a David Leo Suarez spoken word online
Yes.
with a poetess called Finn Bell. It's a sort of duo feature.
Love
So
it.
if anyone's interested in coming along, 7 p.m. UK.
And I will type that in as spoken world online
Online.
to Google it.
Yeah, very easily found on Facebook. It's David Leo Stewart. He does every Tuesday night. Spoken Word Online. And Tuesday the 25th, I think it is. Gary may want to know that it's the anniversary of George Floyd's thingamajig. I think.
It's been in my diary for 12 months.
What now? What now? I didn't hear what you said.
No, I was saying it's the anniversary of the George Floyd situation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We're doing our best.
But our themes would be known as blossoms of the heart. So if you want beauty and inspiration, come to David Leo Suarez.
Sounds awesome. I will try to be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got some stuff that I posted at the beginning, and let me post it again. Things that are coming up here. And put that there.
You can use David's name too. That way you definitely find it.
I did. He's up there.
Okay.
And coming up this Thursday, I'm the feature poet at Scarrett Bennett Center, which is a religious center here in Nashville. And they also do Poets Corner and all sorts of great things. And they have a maze outside. So that's this Thursday at 7 p.m. That's the Facebook link.
I'm going to be there.
Yay. I'm going to sign your books, man. And it's going to be live in their theater as well as Facebook streaming, and it'll be recorded. So if you miss it, I'll post.
What time is it?
7 p.m. Central.
US. Okay, so these I can usually do because they don't clash with the English one.
Oh, good.
Because on Thursday would be Rob Reeves' Run Your Tongue. I do tons of poetry. I mean, your group is the third one tonight.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
In between, I had to be with my own spiritual path for 2 hours, 8 to 10.
Wow.
That's totally separate from poetry.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. It is. I love that you take that time.
Yeah, well, I need to chill out as well.
Amy, would it be okay if I shared my piece?
That would be lovely. Please do.
Okay.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So this piece that I'm going to share is basically a continuation of what I shared earlier about the oceans dying. So imagine if the earth were to suddenly turn inhospitable, if human life on earth could not be a possibility. So this poem I've titled The Journey to Alpha Centauri. And I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the very closest star system that we have to our sun. Alpha Centauri is the closest star. It's like 1 light year away, within a light year. So it's the closest star system that we can go to. And we recently discovered habitable planets in the Goldilocks zone. in Alpha Centauri. So that would be the most logical place for humanity to travel to if somehow we found that living on Earth would be uninhabitable. So I wrote a poem about it, my thoughts on how that experience would be for humanity. And I'll begin it. Save your breath, the air is poison. Save your water, for acid rains. Save your crops, the soil is barren. The earth you knew has started to fade. Save the sunlight, it dims each moment. Save your hearts, once fear is tamed. Save your triumphs, for disasters come to leave you in ruin, in soul, in name. Save your elders and their values dying. Save your criminals if their crimes are past. Save the good word, the ink is fading. Save your species, for the die is cast. Fires of progress, the pyre that ate you, the forests cut will give you no home. The oceans bared will drink your tears as the earth you've salted consumes your bones. The mother you raped from her bosom expels your rancid, cancerous, festering growth. Like a child unwanted, go find your way, make promises new as you are loath. Pack your rockets, your hands and pockets with as much fuel as you can stuff, for the march to Alpha Centauri will be long and very tough. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this piece.
That was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ooh.
And now we have Matthew Discovia.
Hello? Okay. Everyone, I'm going to go ahead and present my piece about fatherhood before I head on out to work. Thank you for your time and patience. It's been great listening to all of you. I enjoyed everything you brought to the poetry table, well, the virtual poetry table. And once again, I hope to actually get to know each and every one of you more personally, and we can all do collabs, make memories happen, and bring the world closer to communication and empathy and eliminate the things that are not needed. If I have a moment of your time once again, I'm going to begin. No rhyme intended. Fatherhood. The immensity of any mountain holds me to no consternation, because I will continue to climb until I reach the pinnacle. Because you, my son, you make me feel invincible. Vedo la pace quando ti guardo. I see peace when I look at you. That's in Italian, by the way. I believe in your peace to bring miracles. Fatherhood. Questionable paths of multi-dimensional natures brought me lucid signs from the heavens, chaos, and decipher codes meaningful to open my eyes to this new ray of light contained in this life. Beyond any Roman doubts, I have spiritually reclaimed these portions of myself, learning more from the acts and encounters with these ritualistic, rhythmic, mesmerizing, colorful, mindless illusions they call dreams. For being a father, to this day, I must say, I'm on a wave floating with the gist of things, barely gaining an actual understanding from the great 13, the ways of what it truly means. And on a side note, 13 women show me what it's like to be a man. So shout out to all the sisters out there. My son, as of now, you have had 5 years in this lifetime on earth until your birthday, November the 27th, 2015. I remain faithful in my beliefs you will grow stronger than me and change something about this world. For the details are covered in mind fog of my shadow following me, but it will be revealed to the light as the movement flows with everything. Time will continue to conspire against us, but you will find a way to be our salvation. And I'm proud, ever so, to be your father, Isaiah. I believe in you. Isaiah, inspiring, selfless, ambitious, inventive, admirable, healer. Nobody can prepare enough for a versatile role such as this. The position as a mother, the position as a father, even being a tia or a tio has its ups and downs. But in the 9 months of her pregnancy, I doubted myself. I lost myself. I broke myself. I rebuilt myself and redesigned my most needed self and functions through activities while in the phase of a hyper combative mode. There were multiple factors that drove me on edge. It was not only the hormonal twists and turns, the weathers always also affected my cravings for outrageous foods, along with my constantly changing mood. The emotionally overcharged flight extended to extreme heights. Obviously, there's more to this than just being one of the central caretakers, emotionally supportive guide, or even an active disciplinarian when it comes for it, that is. If you don't have any love for yourself on any level, if you don't value yourself like you should, if you fear sacrifice, this is not the sport for you at all. Love, appreciate, honor, value, believe in our very children of our future. Fatherhood has been teaching me, as well as providing insightful concepts equipped with understanding the depth of our child's needs, knowledge, and passion. So don't turn your head away at the chance to learn while you're given a lesson on a daily to grow with your loved ones while they're still small before they grow to be bigger than you. One day, you're going to be looking at the tiny boy or girl, and they're going to blossom to a beautiful man or woman. They will not forever remain as a baby. I'm shouting it to the winds. Let the skies carry my voice until the clouds fades. Climbing mountains, moving mountains, triumph over the impossible continuously. For you, without affirmation, you are the exact reason of how and why I feel that nothing limits me. Your love keeps me to stand. Your love keeps me staying strong. So what does it mean to be a father? The root of meaning goes deeper than what I can summarize to you mindfully or consciously. For as of now, I'm still learning from more than just one source. Thank you, all of you.
Oh, that was so beautiful. Oh,
Mm.
lovely,
Amazing piece.
lovely fatherhood.
Yeah,
Oh my
estupendo.
Estupendo.
I did some Italian, not Spanish, but it's still there. Estupendo. Maravilhoso.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yay. That was awesome. Thank you. I'm proud of all that you are learning. It's a beautiful experience that you shared with us. Well, guys, I think we need to wrap it up. We need Thank you all so much for being here. It's been a wonderful experience, lovely afternoon. Everyone brought something wonderful to the table. I appreciate all of you and have a blessed rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Amy. You and Gary are stalwarts in the scene, together with Clive and I've forgotten his name. Clive's a co-host and a few others, you know. Been
Next
around
level.
for some time and understand the awareness of social conscience and doing your part and acquiring extra merits in heaven. So yeah, I commend you highly.
Thank you, Amy. Thanks. Say, London, I haven't forgotten about the 20th of May. I've been doing radio interviews, TV interviews, and I'm featuring all this every day this week somewhere.
Yeah, I know. Busy, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing what stands in mind, like I wrote a poem on that day about George Floyd. Surprise, surprise, a black person's dying right before your eyes. And the bit one reminds me. I won't read what I'm writing in response to that a year later, but what got me was my memories of that was the first Sunday. My church thought that we were going to be really cool here. We can get a black pastor in and ask him what the black pastor, I'm never going to forgive him, said, go talk to a black person and to find out. And the thing what actually put me in a trauma, I got about 90 phone calls that day. And I'm thinking there must be another black person. but it's just in thinking about the year, what's gone, it's just thinking of about how life has changed and how we move forward. I just remember meeting Amy for the first time. The first time I crossed to the big pond. So thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
You've always been a supporter and a friend for everything we do.
Thank you.
Same
Gary,
here.
Gary, you should know that I was interviewed on the radio.
Yeah.
Again, in relation to the George Floyd thing, but I used some of the info that you gave me.
That's fine.
As well as the social poems, that it was a kind of discussion. So I used the info you gave me.
Right. You're all beautiful poets, guys.
You are. It's true. It's true.
Wonderful people. Matthew, nice to see you.
Thank you all.
Good night. God
Good
bless.
night, all. Thank you. Thank you.
Hard to say goodbye.
Mwah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you. We love your souls. I forgot how it goes. It's so for people, but I've forgotten it.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of Shrinmoy's songs. It's actually a thank you song.
Aww.
We call it one of the four universals.
Aww.
One is congratulations, one is thank you, and what are the other two? Welcome, and another one. The four universals. But the thank you one, when I remember it, I'll sing it for you.
Oh, that'd be lovely. It's nice to see everyone.
Indeed.
You'll have a good day.
It's it. Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Nice to
Bye-bye.
see you.
Bless.
Ron, nice to see you again.
Aw.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.